3, 2, 1. Today we probably have one of the coolest earbud releases of 2021, the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros, in the studio today for a long-term review. Let's go. In this video, we're not going to talk about specs or chipsets or any of that garbage. We're going to focus on experience, the quality, the sound, most importantly, how it's performed over the past 2 months of consistent use across multiple different situations. And so the first thing I want to start off with is the build quality. And it's just beautiful. It is absolutely stunning. The Beats Fit Pros are very subtle. They're very, in-ear, and they hide pretty well, but these ones stand out quite a bit. They're larger, they have these double wingtip, ear tip kind of situation going on, and look at that glossy finish. In the bus or even in like a lecture hall, people are gonna look at your ears and wonder if those are earbuds or next-gen hearing aids. Like, they actually do draw attention, and depending on what are the colors you get, like there's purple, pink, and all these other cool colors. The black one I think is the most subtle, but people still looked at my ears even when having these black ones in, so the color options are pretty dope. The build quality of the earbuds though is also very top tier. Over the past 2 months, I've dropped these in a number of different situations, specifically trying to put these back in and taking them out. It happens. I've dropped them on the bus, outside on concrete, and they're perfectly fine. There's no nicks or scratches on the body of the actual earbud, and the glossy finish is still as glossy as ever. So I'd be comfortable to say you're not going to experience any kind of fading or any kind of damage from your day-to-day use. The case is one of my favorites. Now, it's my first time using this like slide case, and I'm in love, okay? It's a lot easier to one-hand this than it is those other like flip open cases, because you really have to get your thumb in there. This you can really just slick and slack. It's simple. The quality finish of the slide as well hasn't diminished over the past 2 months, so it's still as smooth as it was day one. Now, one of the things I love about the case is this matte finish. It keeps it very nice to grip, and it feels really nice. But I have scratched the mat quite a bit because I've left these in my pocket or in my backpack with a ton of books, and so that use will kind of scratch this matte surface, but in no way does that impact performance. Before we move on, have you guys seen the box for these? Fam, it is radical. I thought the Beats Fit Pros had crazy unboxing, but Soundcore really went all out when it came to these. From that unboxing experience to the crazy build quality and all the features they packed into these we're going to talk about later, plus all the advertising they're doing, it's really obvious that Soundcore is trying to set themselves apart with this flagship. So how well do they actually perform? Let's start with the fit. Staying in your ear is part of the earbud's job. It's not your job to keep pushing them in throughout the day. And I've got to say, these fit and stay in your ear extremely well. As many of you probably know, there's this regular ear tip, and then there's this wing tip on the back, and they give you like all different variations when it comes to sizes. But these, working in conjunction, really keep the earbud stable and anchored into your ears. And because this is so like light, it's just a very smooth, easy to bend rubber. Over the past 2 months, I've never had a single ache, no kinds of pain or soreness, even after using them for elongated periods of time, like 6 hours. Like I said, when you do put them in, they do bulge out quite a bit, like the Beats Fit Pros, but when they look this good, that's not a problem. The problem, though, is this second wingtip. This second wingtip is vital. I just took it off. It's really important to have this on to keep it in your ear, because underneath that is just this really hard plastic. But as you just saw, this wingtip moves around a ton, especially when you take them out and put them back in. It's going to move around. And the problem is, because it moves around, it starts covering up the ear tip sensor. If it's covered up, then the earbuds might think they're inside the ear, and they'll automatically just start playing whatever you have running. And sometimes when you fix it, it automatically thinks it's been pulled out, and it stops playing the music. So it's really annoying how these cover the sensor a lot, and there's never like a really rigid feel when you actually put them in. Battery life though is a big plus here. I tested Anker's claim with 8 hours and it does hold true pretty much. I've been using these for like 8 hours straight with ANC on and off occasionally, and I've had no problems getting that charge time. The app that it comes with, I don't know why I put my phones there. I'm sorry. The Soundcore app also integrates really well with these earbuds, and it gives you all kinds of updates like battery life and all other like performance indicators to keep you on top. Being premium earbuds, they do come with a USB-C charging port, but they're also wireless charging capable, so you can definitely, if your phone, which this one does wirelessly charge, I can charge them using the back of my phone. And I found that a 15-minute charge with these inside the case would give me about 3 hours of playtime, which is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, there's no fast charging for the case itself. And over the past 2 months, the battery drain hasn't changed too much at all. I found that 2 hours of use drains the battery from 100 down to 75%, and that's been pretty consistent throughout the entire 2-month period. Now, let's talk about the features, and let me apologize first because the news isn't so good here. Let's start with one of the headlining features that Soundcore came out with these earbuds. It's called HearID EQ. It's Soundcore's custom EQ settings made specifically for your ears, and it requires a lengthy hearing test through the app, and after you take that test they basically give you the perfect EQ settings for your ears. I took that hearing test and the result was a very high frequency sound in my right ear and a more normal regular sound in my left. What that would imply is that my right ear is losing hearing and my left ear is okay, which is absolutely not the case because I just had a physical done and there were no red flags. So basically the hearing test that they have you take on the app and stuff like, it's a gimmick, to be honest, and like the resulting EQs that they give you are just unpleasant, to be honest. They also added HearID ANC, which is a lot better. Once again, you have to configure it through the app. They make you go to a really loud place, set it all up, but it works really well. It's one of the best ANC experiences I've had. The ANC doesn't distort the noise. It keeps everything crystal clear, as the sound is really good actually. We'll get into that later. But the ANC has been consistent in being really good without providing any kind of distractions or distortion and keeping the sound very comfortable to listen to. So I liked the HearID ANC, but I disabled the HearID EQ, the custom EQ settings. Instead, I just go with the normal sound settings on these earbuds, and as it is, the sound is extremely good. It's very impressive. To get into the sound, it's very high res, and I really like that word because it encapsulates the experience. The sound is very pleasant. It's very nice. It's good to hear, and I really like it. The bass is also there. It provides just enough oomph to make the bass kids very happy. You're not getting the same level of bass or dynamic range as something like the Beats Fit Pros, but I'm still very satisfied. Before we send them to their probable death, a few other features and bugs I want to address beforehand. First of all, the ratchet ear tip sensor. This thing is just so annoying. Sometimes I would have one of these in, and basically, you know, so this one is in now, and I just hear that ping ping, which means hualo. And then I'd pick the second one up, and I'd accidentally cover this ear tip sensor, and automatically sounds would just start playing. It would think that this is already in my ear, and it would just go. So it would delay the pause when you take them out. So when the ear tip sensor does realize that there's no more ear tips in its presence, it doesn't turn off as fast. It'll actually go for a few seconds before it pause whatever media was playing. So again, if you've come to use premium earbuds, then those are things you get used to. And the fact that, you know, the media just keeps playing even after you take them off, it's not just about those 3 seconds that you just lost of media, but it's about that confusion where you're like, did it not turn off? And then you have to like take out your phone, check, and then it's just annoying basically. The touch control surface is also very sensitive. And yes, it would happen to me where these are in my ear, I'm walking along and things just pause or things just go ahead and play. It's happened to me enough where I've thought it to be important to bring it up in this review. So that's just, again, annoying. So before we get into the water and sound test, what do I think about these earbuds? The output is great, but the experience isn't so much. The build quality, the sound, the custom ANC are some of the best I've ever experienced. But the many little bugs, like these wingtips, the ear tip sensor, the super sensitive touchpad, the custom EQ that doesn't even work, all of these bugs really bring that experience a few notches down. Recommendation is, if you're looking for the Lamborghini for your ears, then these are really gonna be the trick. They look insanely good. I really like the way they look, but there are gonna be times where it's just a nuisance, it's annoying, and you wish it was never in your life. But if you are a heavy user, someone who uses these earbuds or wireless earbuds a lot, you're also someone who's active, and you want a stable, no gimmick, reliable Toyota setup, then I would recommend going with the Beats Fit Pros. They are in the same price range as these, and personally, I do like them better. Obviously, we do these with all of our earbuds that come through the studio. Now, these are rated to be splash proof, they're rated to be rain proof, so those should have no problem using it in those situations. But we always got to take it to the next step, because what if one day you're stuck in the washing machine? Obviously, you're going to call a sibling for help, but you're going to have a few cycles you're in there for, and you want to make sure that you can survive with your earbuds. And that's what we're here to test today. Obviously, this is a controlled environment, so please do not try this at home. We are in Area 53 here, so rest easy. Rest easy. Before we go ahead and dunk them, I'm gonna go ahead and play some music so that you guys can hear what they sound like before we drop them in. So what I'm playing is Future Girlfriend by Benson Cut, in case you're interested in supporting the artist. So I hope you can hear really good bass. And the sound is also very high res. The quality is very high. It sounds good. I like the way they sound. Obviously, just me holding it like these is actually playing and pausing this. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and, let me get Jabras out of the way. We're going to go ahead and dunk one of these into the water. I'm going to keep one of these outside, and we're going to see how this turns out. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them popped in. So the first thing that's happened is it paused the music. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So just think about it like this. These touch surfaces are so sensitive that if you're out in the rain and that raindrop hits the touch surface, it might even pause your music. So that's, again, just kind of putting that sensitivity into perspective. But it's in there. I mean, there's a few balloons, like bubbles that are coming out. I just paused it for some reason. Yeah, there's no noise coming from the water. I mean, you shouldn't expect it, right? I don't hear anything. Okay, I'm gonna take these ones out so we don't get that sound. It's still playing. Oh, there is some noise. It's very, very low. I'm gonna check if the touch surface is working. Yes. That's actually helping. I think that cleared out some of the water in the drivers. So it's the water that's inside the drivers that's causing it to like seal the sound. That's a little bit sad, because yesterday again we tested the Jabra Elite 3s. Absolutely no problems like this. Like, we just took these out of the water and boom, they had no problems. These ones though, okay, so the water gets into these ear tips and drivers extremely easily. That's not a good thing to see. But hey, still running. They still work. So let me just take the other ones out. Although these ones, see, it just keeps playing and pausing, and I think just me moving my ears around and my fingers around them, it's just so annoying. So these are still louder than this one, but I just think it's the water that's stuck in there. Oh, we're just gonna have to get all the water out, but I'm sure it can, like, yeah, it's just the water. Nothing's actually damaged. So $200. I keep my $200 safe. Thank God. Obviously, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing and liking to this channel. It really helps me out. We're doing this for you guys for no other reason than for entertainment. This was my own money, by the way, so we're not sponsored by Soundcore, but if Soundcore would want to sponsor our future experimentation, feel free to reach out. You know where to reach me. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take it easy. Peace.